Let me get the mic. Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me?
Okay.
What's up? It's your girl Maj, and I am back with another episode of Ask Maj, the podcast, where I am spilling all the real tea. Now, I am so excited for our guest today, Miss Karissa Mitchell, who is a senior fashion and beauty editor at Teen Vogue, personal stylist, designer, and DJ. Hey, Karissa girl.
Hi. So happy to be here.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. I feel blessed. I feel aligned.
Good. Now, you know what? Karissa and I, we were messing around with her background before we went live. And so I'm so excited for you all to hear everything that she has to say about her fashion and beauty journey. And please appreciate the background. Please appreciate the mannequin there. And the mood board in the back. Like, please appreciate that because we worked on that right before we went live. But Karissa, I'm super excited to jump into this conversation and hear more about your journey. And Karissa was just promoted at Teen Vogue to senior fashion and beauty editor. So congratulations, Karissa. Yes. I have a segment on my podcast where I do solo episodes, and I have it's called Shine Black Girl Shine. And so this is a Shine Black Girl Shine moment for Karissa to be promoted and to be doing all the amazing things that she's doing. But again, super excited to jump into this conversation. So Karissa, talk a little bit about how you discovered your passion for fashion.
I feel like my passion for fashion was actually discovered by Tumblr. Like when we were all in the Tumblr age, I think it was 2009 to 2011. That was when I really knew that, like, okay, wait, I think I'm into fashion, because I didn't really spend a lot of time on the internet before high school. Like, I'm a bookworm and I just watch a lot of TV. Like, it was never internet. And I've always been a student athlete. So, like, never even had time for the internet.
Yeah.
And then I think obviously the older I got, the more, like we got on Twitter and Instagram became a thing, and then mood boards and Tumblr and Pinterest. And I started seeing, like, I didn't really notice that before the internet, we weren't really seeing other people in other areas. Yeah. So when I started seeing, like, I would have an idea like, dang, or I wanted to wear tights under my shorts, but I wanted to rip them up, But like, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to like not understand and think it's dumb. And then I get on Tumblr and it's a thing. Like in Paris, they've been doing that. And I didn't know that. So like, then I think it just kind of gave me the confidence to like do all those things that I was already thinking, on top of following trends. Cause I'm not gonna pretend like everything I do is just so original. Like I was following trends too, like everyone else, but I didn't have the confidence to, I think, follow certain trends that I was into until I saw everyone else do it, which is normal when you're so impressionable, 9th grade, you don't wanna look dumb. So from there, I got my confidence to look dumb.
Yeah.
And then I started like actually doing things that I haven't seen before, and like pushing boundaries, and like seeing Rihanna wear something and dumbing it down to something I could also do, like Doc Martens with a prairie dress. Like I did that in 10th grade, like, and everybody was looking at me like it was cool because Rihanna did it.
Right.
Nobody else would go to the thrift store and try to find something that looked like her. So I was really, I want to say like one of like 5 people at my high school that were like willing to take fashion risks.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it as me being a trendsetter or best dressed or anything like that. I just thought that I was bored and creative. So it wasn't until college where I knew that there was like a job for that. And like, oh, people are getting paid to like have ideas and be creative. I didn't know that. And I just mixed it with my love for journalism, because I do love to read first. I'm a huge bookworm, love to read. And that's like, birthed my love for writing. Eventually I want to be an author someday. But I was like, how can I mix fashion and journalism? And I was editorial magazines. So I decided that I want to work in magazines. I left A&T and was like, I'm either going to London, Paris, or New York if I want to do fashion. So I went to New York. Lived in the ladies' attic in Queens for a little while, worked at Olive Garden, worked at like retail, like just whatever jobs. And when I got to New York, I was super intimidated. Like didn't want to go outside, didn't want to use the train by myself. Like everybody's looking at me like, oh, she must not be from here, you know? So I was like really, really nervous about getting outside. And I just was like, I don't know how to do anything but school. So I decided to go to school. Because I was like, that'll get me outside. It'll give me something to do. So I'm not just floating. So I went and got my master's at LIM. I went for my master's. She did not earn it. Okay? But I did go. I took a couple classes. So I started my master's, and then it actually didn't work out because I hit the ground running and I didn't expect that. So basically, when I got my master's, they told us like, oh, you have to have an internship. So in order to get my internship, you know what? That also birthed me going to get my master's because I wanted to intern at this magazine and you had to have college credit. So that was just another thing that was like, yeah, I'm going to school because like, I gotta have college credit. Looking back on it, I wouldn't have done it because it wasn't necessary, but I was so quick with it. I was just thinking like, I'm in New York, I gotta start now. I didn't even think about it. So I was very impulsive, went to school, boom, that happened, had my internship. And then I started assisting a stylist. And when I was assisting him, it just snowballed. So like, I couldn't even get to class because I was on set. Like I was doing everything I wanted to do already. Like, why am I going to class? So I tried to make it. I mean, my grades were great. It was just the type of situation where a certain amount of classes you miss, you lose a letter grade. So it was like, I was missing so many classes. It didn't matter how much homework I did. Like, So at some point they were just like, whatever, sorry, we gotta let you go. But it's crazy because I still to this day, I do panels at that school.
Wow.
Like, they're like, LIM alum. And I'm like, no. Like, but it would be nice to get complimentary something.
Honorary?
Complimentary, listen to me. Honorary something, because at this point, I done did like 3 different seminars.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't earn my master's, but I went for it and that was my intention. Yeah. And then it snowballed into me styling. And then I became so good of an assistant that I took, I guess, a leap of faith on myself and was like, let's see if I can do it myself. Because really one of the people that I was assisting, he missed his flight. And when he missed his flight, I had to style Bella Hadid by myself.
Oh, wait. You getting too far. I'm so excited to talk about your styling experience and who you've worked with. So you're getting ahead of me. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, you kind of mentioned, mixing your passion for fashion and journalism. And you led me into my next point, which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Teen Vogue, right? Because you got that kind of passion, and then we'll jump into personal stylist and all those good things. So tell us about what you're doing at Teen Vogue and how you've been able to kind of mix your passion for fashion and then that editorial writing passion.
So at Teen Vogue is so crazy because this is literally my dream job. Like I literally said in college, I want to be an editor. It was an editor at Nylon at first. And then it spiraled into Teen Vogue, but I can't believe I'm here. So the job really is like, I was so nervous about not getting it because I'm just the jack of all trades. And sometimes people like need you to focus. Like, babe, what do you do?
Right.
Like, not what you're good at, but like, what do you do? Because I have so many things. Like, I can do this, I can do that. And I'm really good at it. And I also, so like, it was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to be an editor? Like, what? I hope I don't have to do one thing at this job.
Yeah.
Girl. Senior fashion and beauty editor, let me tell you, it's a job for me because I get to style. Like, I'm not the sole stylist or anything. Yeah. There is, we do have a fashion editor, and that's her lane. Like, Chesmini, that's her name. She is the one who does most of the styling, most of the super, super fashion heavy stuff. Like, but me, I'm more so the editorial side. So I'm writing the fashion stories, or if I have an idea for a fashion shoot, I can do that. Like, if I have an idea for one, we can shoot it. I can style it if I want to, or I can hire a stylist to do it, or I can hand it to Chesmini. Like, you know what I mean? So it's very like, I can float amongst every single hat that I've ever worn. Like, I get to write articles. I get to style things if I want to. I get to hire stylists, which is, I have a passion for casting that like is so deep. So like now I get to like cast the stylist and decide who's the best MUA for this shoot. Like, and like creative direction. You were there in college when I used to just shoot for no reason. And like now I can literally say, oh my God, I like this girl's music. let me check her out, and then pitch a fashion shoot to them if I want to. And the beauty side of it is all new to me because I'm like innately a beauty girl because I'm a girl, but I'm not like super beauty focused. Like, oh my God, I know everything. I know what Anastasia is like. Yeah. But now that I'm in the beauty era, like it makes more sense for me growing as a woman because I'm starting to get to that stage where I'm gonna need a routine. Like, I'm becoming like a 30-year-old, and like now we need serums at night and stuff. Like, so I'm learning as I go, but it's very just a genuine title for me. Like beauty, duh. Like you can't be a female and not be into beauty. That's the thing. Right. And then like fashion is just mostly my background, and I'm such a reader that writing comes naturally. So it was really nice to start doing, and especially a place like Teen Vogue, because I feel like, for sure, Teen Vogue is a place where I feel like people aren't reading anymore. But people read Teen Vogue, and that's really nice to know because we really shake the table with things. Like I think like the Johnny Depp the Johnny Depp verdict came out. You know, all the other outlets are like, this happened. Teen Vogue is like, this happened and this is how we feel about it, because why would they do that? Right. Like, you know, and then like even with the slap with Chris Rock, like everybody was like, oh my God, Chris Rock got slapped. Teen Vogue said, Chris Rock got slapped, and this is not a problem for white women, and this is why. Like, it's always something that really like now you want to read.
Right. What y'all doing over there?
We shaking the table, girl. So I'm happy that I'm in a space where like my ideas are trusted. Like there's not like a tradition or like we don't usually do stories like that. Like, you know, they're not trying to mold me into anything. They're literally like, come take control of the fashion and beauty sector. Like, what should we be talking about? What are your ideas? How can we start? Are you finished? Can we do it now? Right. Like, they're so cool. So I love that about Teen Vogue. And like almost everybody is a person of color. Yeah. Wow. Everyone, my whole team. I think it's like literally all of us, I think. Yeah. So very diverse. Love that.
That is so amazing. And you know, this is a special moment for me because Chris and I went to school together, studied the same thing. And she is just out here flourishing and being able to, I guess, combine all of your passions into one job and be the senior at the job. I think it's such an amazing thing. Like, love that for you. 100%.
And this is my first salary role.
Oh, come on. Like, we talk about Black Girl Magic. Shine, Black Girl, shine, baby. This is it. This is the definition. Now I want to kind of go back into what you were talking about when you mentioned, you know, being an assistant to the stylist, right? So talk a little bit about how you ventured into being the assistant and then kind of going into personal styling. So that is another hat that Karissa wears. And she's talked about her passion for that. So go back to that story and kind of lead us into that.
I quite literally DM'd. Like I just direct messaged this stylist and was like, hey, I want to help if you need help. And a lot of people don't know, girl, now that I've been a stylist, like DM us, we need the help. Bad. Yeah. Really. So like, I DM'd him. It worked out. My very first assistant job was Cardi B. And it was like Love and Hip Hop Cardi B. Like before it was like Cardi, like she was like Love and Hip Hop Cardi B, but she knew that she was Cardi. That's why it was like, it was still fun to work with her because the whole time she knew that she was about to be this person. So like, but you know, like brands back then, they weren't really like, you know, they were very hesitant to give to her because she wasn't loved by everyone first. And I hate that about the brand sometimes. Like you got to just see the vision. Like, you know, so now everybody's throwing clothes at her, but when we were assisting, it was like pulling teeth. Like it was really hard. And it wasn't even her fault. It's really just the brands not being ahead of the culture and knowing what's up and coming. Like, so that was difficult, but working with her was really fun. Then we worked with Kiki Palmer. That was really fun. All the same assisting job. And then basically like one moment I was assisting another stylist and he missed his flight. And then I had to do it on my own, which was not even an exciting moment for me because I was young and scared. And it was like the Bella Hadid. So I'm like, hey, I know I'm not him. He missed his, I'm so sorry. Can you, like, I was just nervous. And like Bella's super sweet, so down to earth. And she wasn't even 21 when it happened. Like she was younger, but it was really cool. And like she hated everything I had. And but she was so nice about it. And she was like, let's just go through my closet. Like, let's just go through my closet. I was like, fine. So we got her dressed in her closet. It was super sweet. So nice. And then before I left, I gifted her one of these dresses that I would love to see her in, literally off the record, not even had anything to do with a stylist or anything.
Yeah.
I was just like, I know I'm not your stylist, but I think this dress would look really good on you. And if you wore it, it'd be really nice. And she was like, okay. She's like, just leave it with my doorman. And I'm thinking like, this ain't never gonna make it to her. Like, she was about to go to Aspen the next weekend. Like, it was a whole thing. So I was like, oh, whatever. I left it with the doorman. I felt stupid because now I don't have the dress anymore to give to anybody. And she wore it.
Wow.
She wore it like 2 months later. She wore it and it was like a whole thing. And then every time she saw me after that, she was like, I wear your dress. I was like, yeah. And so that was really sweet. And that let me know like, okay, Karissa, you have the eye. Like if a freaking supermodel liked what you put her in, like,
right.
I think you kind of got the eye. So now you just got to get the logistic part.
Yeah.
So like the more I assisted, the more they trusted me with the emails rather than just the errands. And then once I got the emails down, it was like only a matter of time before I knew how to tell someone else to do the errands.
Yeah.
So then I had an assistant, I had an intern, yeah, and then it just spiraled and took off.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Keke Palmer, Cardi B before she was the Cardi B, Bella Hadid. What is it like working with these celebrities? I know you said Bella was super sweet, and I know you said you were nervous. This was your first time.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Usually, well, not even usually. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want another stylist listening to this. Like, girl, you lied. But most of my experience, speaking about me, my horror stories are with the stylist, not even the talent. Like usually the talent is the pleasant, nice.
Yeah.
It's the stylist that can be like really scary and just like, oh my God. Like I've had some really chaotic stories with a few stylists, but yeah, usually the talent is really sweet, easy to work with.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The only thing that I would say is like difficult sometimes is getting your talent to have an open mind. Because like, you know, like Cardi B, for example, back in 2016, we probably couldn't get her to wear the green sunflower that she wore walking through Paris. Like that would have been like, that girl, no, like I'm gonna look crazy. But now she gets that this is couture. Like couture is art. Like you're walking art. It's what's like, you know, like that was a way better, bigger statement than all black with some shades. Like,
okay.
So like, no offense to her, obviously, because Cardi always had it. But like, I think back then, obviously, it was like really, really hard to get her to understand like the art.
Yeah.
More so than like being sexy and, you know, like desired and pleasing everyone. Like introduce your audience to something we've never seen. Like, you know? But now she's doing that with Colin and everyone else. So that's great because we always knew she had that in her. And I feel like I've worked with a lot of artists who sometimes they're like, okay, if you think so.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people are like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's not my brand.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like sometimes you're dressing the artist for what exactly they want. And then other times you have an artist that's like, take the wheel. I trust you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No,
but I don't like one better than the other.
Yeah.
They're both like just as fun job.
Yeah. Is it ever hard when you have to do it, I guess, like based on their brand?
When I have to do it based on their brand, yes, because then my interpretation might not be yours.
Right.
And then you're like, I look like I would wear that. You know, like, be for real. Like,
right.
And I'll be like, yeah. Like, so sometimes, or I've never had that situation, but one situation that I did have is when somebody asked me for sequins. I gave them sequins, and it's not what they ended up wanting. Like it's like they thought they knew what they wanted, but actually, let's not do the sequins.
Yeah, let's not do that at all.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it wasn't my fault or your fault. It just didn't end up finding its way in the entire project. It didn't work. So that's happened before, but even that, it gets frustrating because now I have one more day. And I just spent 3 days getting sequins.
Yeah.
So now that we're switching the entire thing on its head on the last day, it's like, what? But usually when things go wrong, I've realized that they go better. So like,
I love that. That
happens all the time. Every time I feel like it's not going to be a good project if something doesn't go wrong.
Say that again. You said sometimes when things go wrong, they actually go better. Don't you say that? That's good. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so Karissa, when you style these celebrities, when you style these big names, and you see them on the cover of these magazines, you see them at the shows with something that you styled them in, like, what does that moment mean for you? What do those moments mean for you?
You know what? I mean, it's always great to get them dressed. I love when the girls are confident and excited on the carpet. But I think like the best part is when you see their comments. Like when they post their picture, I treat it like my picture and I go under their comments like, they like it. And I'm just reading people say like, girl, this was not it. Or like, I love this. Like, oh my God, so good. Like, I love when they do that. So like, yeah, I guess the moment where I see that her fans or his fans loved it, that's the moment for me. That's like, it's not even a celebratory moment. It's more of like, at the end of the day, when you take your pants off, like, I just feel like, like, yeah, well, we did it, Joe. Like, that's literally how I feel. Like, we made it, girl.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't celebrate until the returns are done. Like after the shoot and she returns everything to me and then we dry clean it and we return it to the brand on time. And then I get paid and I can pay my assistants. That's when it's like, the job is done. But by then you don't even get to celebrate because you're working on another job.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like a never ending thing. I don't think I ever get to have the yay moment.
Yeah.
When I got the Teen Vogue job, like to this day, I did not celebrate. Like I was working when
let me go find you some pink rosé because that is amazing.
I was working when I got that job.
Yeah. You know, and I think it's so important, I guess, that you noted that because in our, I guess, age range, like that's what we do, right? Like we have these moments that should be celebrated, but we're so focused on like what the next thing is. Like we're working on the next thing, we're looking forward to the next thing, we're planning the next thing. But celebrate your moments, girl. Celebrate your moments. Now, you know, I just learned that Karissa is a designer, right? Jack of many trades. I'm talking editor, personal stylist, designer, and DJ. So we'll get into DJing in a second, but tell me about this designer hat that you wear.
Literally 2020, man. The girls needed money.
Honey, you got your bag.
Yeah. So 2020 happened, the pandemic, and I was getting unemployment. And everybody I feel like that got unemployment, y'all know we was getting way. The girls were rich. Okay. So I was like, I'm gonna be smart about this. Like, I'm not gonna just take the money and then be looking later like, damn, where did I spend all of that?
Right.
You know, I was like, nah, I'm gonna start a brand because I always wanted to. It was always a thing in my head, but I didn't have the money, number one. And also, like, I don't know, just constant self-doubt. Like, just like, oh, girl, like, is it gonna be that one thing you did that one time? Like, don't start something and can't finish it. That's where I was. But it kept coming up, like, I don't know, like I feel like just the brand name, like the brand name I came up with, I heard it in so many conversations and it just kept coming up. Like everybody was like, well, yeah, you know, that'll be the best case. Like, yeah, you know, in best case scenario is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God is trying to tell me. Like, He's trying to tell me. And so I used it in that moment to like create best case scenario, my brand. And best case scenario is inspired by boys, but it's for girls. Like it's just one of those brands where like I don't want you to think about it too much because I feel like when men get dressed, they don't think as hard as we think.
They don't.
Yeah, and not that getting dressed isn't that hard because maybe it is. Like it is hard, but I just want it to be like one of those brands that's just like effortlessly cool. Like you put on a Supreme shirt and it's already a fit because it's Supreme. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even have to do much. Like, so I want to be one of those brands where like the signature or like, I don't know, even how, what's his name? Virgil has the shoes that just say shoe. Like with the quotations. Like, but you know, it's off-white. That's the thing. Yeah. So it's more of like the branding and the brand identity for me. I don't feel like it's enough brands out that like have a really, really strong brand identity. Like everything's getting lost in the label, but it's like, what do they stand for? Like, do you even agree with their, like, you know, like I wore Off-White and I wore Louis because of Virgil and because of what Virgil stood for. And he's always giving back to the community. And he's always like at different colleges doing TED Talks. And I appreciated that. And I met him in person and had a like one-on-one serious conversation with him. So I'm like, supporting him is amazing to me.
Yeah.
But like, I want people to feel like that about my clothes. Like I want them to just feel like these are clothes meant for cool people, not clothes that are meant to make you cool.
Yeah.
You know? So like I have for example, I'm gonna mention like this one design that I was so nervous about coming out with. Like I made a sweater, I made denim, I made a dress, like everything. Mulatto wore my dress. Like it was like good moments that I had, but my favorite design was this shirt that said pants on it. And like I came up with the idea of that like in college, like freshman year of college. Freshman year of college, I was like, dang, I want to make a shirt that say pants. Like just being annoying, like that's just who I am, my personality. But I never did it because I was like, nobody's gonna laugh, nobody's gonna get it, everybody's gonna think it's lame. Like I'm not gonna be able to call myself a designer because I made a t-shirt, like, you know, but like, yeah, I am, because nobody made a shirt that said pants. Nobody did that. And I think it's hilarious. And especially after Virgil showed me that you can really do whatever you want. Right. And like your customer is your customer. Like, don't worry about nobody. Worry about who you're designing for. And like, once I did that, I was like, the people who understand the best case scenario ethos is going to buy this.
Yeah.
And so like, it sold out immediately. And a lot of people asked me to restock it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. But yeah, and like now I have another thing coming out. It's been 2 years since I started the brand. I think it's been a year since I last dropped. I last dropped in May. So yeah, it's been a year since I dropped, and I had a problem with forcing myself to drop and hurrying up to keep myself relevant. And like, it doesn't matter. Like Balenciaga can stop and not drop anything till 2024, and I'm gonna be right there.
Right there at the store door.
Yeah, because I love Balenciaga. So I just feel like it's people who support me, people who really care about the brand. And like, I wanted to make sure it wasn't one of those things where like, you have to know Karissa to want to support. Like some people just like the name. And so they just buy my t-shirt that says best case scenario. They don't even know the girl. Like I'm with the best case scenario all the time.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So like, it's cool. I'm having a good time with it, and I'm just having fun. And yeah, what I'm about to drop, I was very, very nervous about it at first, but
dropping.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna love it.
Oh, that is so exciting. I am on a high from just hearing about you being able to just mix all of your passions and, you know, and do what you love, you know, do things that make you happy. And then in turn, you know, making other people happy, you know, through your designs, through what you write, you know, through styling, and making women, you know, feel confident about themselves.
And it's like I said, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Like I said, when things don't go right, like 2020, I had just started DJing 2019. So I was just starting to get my feet wet. I just got my job at Teen Vogue. I was so excited. And then I got laid off because of the pandemic. Then I couldn't DJ anymore because everything was closed. But then I got all that money that birthed my brand. You know what I mean? Like I would have never started my brand if the pandemic didn't happen.
Yes.
So like, sometimes things just gotta go wrong.
I love that. I'm gonna write that on my whiteboard near my desk.
Man, okay. Things gotta go wrong for them to go right.
So things gotta go wrong for them to go right. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so Karissa, you mentioned DJing, right? So let me just break this down for y'all, because I don't think you heard me in the beginning. Karissa is a senior beauty and fashion editor at Teen Vogue, a personal stylist, a designer. She has her own brand, and a DJ. I mean, talk about jack of many trades. Talk about this DJing thing. Like, talk about how did that come about?
It's funny. Man, DJing came about because I got fired. I got fired from my dream job, y'all. I was working at Elle magazine.
Oh my God.
And I got fired. And it broke my little achy breaky heart, man. But honestly, like when I got fired, I really thought like, oh my God, like this is it for me. Like I was like, God gave me my dream job and I fumbled it. Like I'm not gonna get a second chance. Like, you know, like that's just how immediately I was feeling. Obviously that's not what but anyway, in that moment, I realized that I really attributed my happiness to my career. And I really was just like, bro, like I wasn't Karissa. I was Karissa at Elle. Like Karissa from Elle.
Yes.
So then that's when I was like, when I didn't have L, I felt like, who is Carissa?
Right,
like,
right, yeah.
I don't even have the job anymore. So am I important anymore? Does anybody care about what I have to say anymore? Because I don't have the credential anymore. Like, so that was my wake up call that I need to be the brand. Like, I don't need to be working for somebody. And
I am the brand.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm the brand actually. So I went to a few DJ sets with my homeboy. And he was like, yo, you know, you're the only person at every set I go to, you know, every song I play. Like, nobody knows every song I play. I think that's so crazy. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, man, you need to learn to DJ for real. And he was like, because everybody can press the buttons, but mostly what makes a good DJ is a song selection.
Right.
So he was like, but you know all the music, like you need to do it, it's in you. So I'm like, nah, I heard him, whatever. And then my ex-boy, Teray!
Yeah, that's a Teray.
He bought me a DJ board like 2 birthdays before I even met this guy. So I already had a board. It was just collecting dust. I never touched it. And then when he said that, I was like, dang, like, should I use my board? And then I went to another DJ set with him and his computer crashed in the middle of the DJ set.
Oh my God, Karissa!
And I was next to him in the booth, like, what happened? Like the music stopped. So I'm like,
what happened?
Yeah, and it was a full house. So everybody's like, no music. Like, it's like, everybody's like, fix it. And then he was like, I gotta go back to my crib. And his house was only like 2 blocks away. But he was like, I gotta go to my crib. I gotta get can you just like off your aux real quick, Karissa, please? I'm like, no, sir. No. Because it was a full house. It wasn't even like low key. It was like, if I play something, everybody's gonna boo me.
Right.
Like there's a line outside, people can't get in type. Like it was a party. So he was like, bro, I trust you, like, please. Took that aux cord. I'll never forget, my first song was I'm Sprung by T-Pain. And it all went up the whole I'm Sprung. Like everybody was lit. And like from there, I just started playing different songs. Nobody even noticed that the DJ booth wasn't working. Like they didn't notice because I was using like the fade and like changing it right before, like, you know? And so people didn't notice. And he came back an hour later and it was still lit. And he was like, come over on Friday. And he taught me how to use my equipment. Now it's up. Yeah. And my very first DJ set was with him. And he's like a major DJ, like top. Y'all, Ant Blue Jr., I'm plugging it right now.
Okay, come on, Ant Blue Jr.
Ever. Best international DJ ever. He's amazing. And he hates when I do this, but I really just am so inspired. Like, I would have never been a DJ if it wasn't for Blue.
Yeah.
He inspired me.
Oh my God. Your story is the definition of sometimes things got to go wrong to go right, because wow.
If his computer didn't crash, I would have been lost to do it. Like really, the best thing about, well, not the best thing, but the hardest thing about DJ is the crowd reaction, bro.
Yeah,
like, you are not prepared for people to hate you. Like, I've never been through that, thank God. But like, I've been to places where everybody's looking at the DJ like,
nah.
Yeah, and I hate when that happens. I really hate it for that DJ every time. So like, I feel like I knew that I could use the board. I knew that the music selection was within me, and I knew that Blue was right when he told me I really should, but I didn't have the confidence to really get up in front of a full house of 300 people and play a song that I wanted to hear it. Like, like, you know, so it was really cool. But Blue's one of those people that really inspired me because he plays anything. Like Blue plays like the Wii song in the middle of a party. Like, you know, the dun, dun, dun. Like, but like we're all like, no way. And like he don't really play it. And we all be in a party like,
okay.
Like it's just cool. Sometimes he'll play the like iPhone ringtone in the middle of his set. Like, what? He just he doesn't care if you want to hear it or not.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's so interesting because I think you've learned and you're sharing here with us that like sometimes you got to hit rock bottom to know that like the only way to go is up. Oh my gosh, so freaking inspiring. So Karissa, tell us who has been your favorite client that you've styled and favorite DJ set?
Okay, favorite client that I've ever styled.
Ooh, got it. That's a good one.
I don't know. I would say my favorite client that I've ever styled was probably Kiki. But it was because Kiki was so like I feel like I knew her because I grew up with her.
I know.
So it was like I don't know. Bella was like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to, oh my God, because she's so much bigger than me. And then Cardi was like, oh my God, because I watch you on TV, so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
But Kiki was like styling Raven Simone or something. Like, oh my God, like it felt like home almost. Also, because she's my age and she's really super down to earth. Like nothing about her was diva at all. Super cool, super open. Like literally we were having like Kiki's girl talk, super like sharing our secrets. Like it was just very sweet. I loved working with Kiki. She was so down to earth. And the fact that she even like let us stay the night because we had to hurry up and get ready for something was like, you know, like who does that?
Right.
You don't have to do that. Like at the end of the day, like no.
Yeah.
Like see you in the morning, babe. Like
right.
But she was like, no, like you can stay. So that was cool. She got us a room.
Oh my gosh.
So really loved Kiki. She's super down to earth, super sweet, super like actually real. What you see is what you get. No surprise. I love that. And I love that her mom is everywhere. Everything she does.
Is she? Oh yes. Yes.
Everywhere we went, her mom was there. Love her mom.
Oh, hey mom. Hey Kiki's mom. Yeah. All right, favorite DJ set.
Favorite DJ set. My favorite DJ set was my first one.
Wow.
Like
and this was after this is when you was like official.
No, before the pandemic. 2019. That was my first one.
Oh wow. So was this before you started working with Aunt Blue?
Aunt Blue was my first DJ set.
Wow.
So my first DJ set was fire. Like it wasn't even like oh my God, I have to get into the group. It was amazing. If anything, like the set was good, but my energy wasn't there. It was like the set was really good, but I was so focused on not messing up that you like just don't listen to the music. Like but now I can really like sip, talk, like move, dance with it, turn the thing. Like I could never do that before.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite set because that was the set that showed me like, oh, you're a DJ, babe. Like, yeah, so that was good. Now I think my next step in being a DJ is the mic.
Come on.
I'm not a mic girl.
Yeah,
but I want to get on the mic because it really does make a difference when you're
Yeah. Karissa, do you ever feel I guess like discouraged because DJing is a male dominant kind of field? Never bother you? Never.
Well, first of all, I love boys.
Period.
Like I love boys. I've always been a girl with guy friends. Like hate to be that. I know the girls hate that girl, but like that's who I am.
A lot of guy friends.
Yeah, like she's so pick me. Like no, in real life, like growing up, my mom will tell you. Like I don't even think I had my first girl best friend till high school. But I've always been running around with the boys. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And so like that's no problem for me. Love it. I always love being the girl of the group. It's okay. But one thing I will say is like it's an advantage.
Yeah, it is.
Me.
Yeah.
Like I don't see it as like, oh my God, all these boys. Like I walk in like now I can play with the girls on it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and all the girls all the guys want is for the girls to dance.
Right.
So like you can't be up there playing like Key Glock after Dog,
right.
after Gucci, after like, yeah, we like that too, but like we want to hear the Megan, the Mulatto, the City Girl, the like, you know, like get into some Doja, like give us something, Guys they don't get feminine enough for me, like, and like I'm like Blue in a sense that like I'm like Blue likes to play stuff like memes and like, you know, like stuff So like sometimes like recently in the middle of my set, I played Vegas. Like welcome to Vegas, baby. Like I played that. And like all the guy DJs around me and like the club promoter, everybody was like, bro, turn this off. Like what? Like, you know, like on me, like, no, like this ain't it. Girl, them girls was like, I wanna ride.
Yeah.
Like, and then everybody was looking at me like, wait. And I'm like, let me process.
Right.
I know my girls. Like,
she know the girls. The girls.
Y'all don't know what we want to hear, but I know. Like, so
I love that. Yeah, and I love that. I think you talked about working with working with talent that has an open mind, and I kind of think this is sort of the same concept, like being with audiences and club promoters, other DJs who have an open mind. I'm sure make it a lot easier. But Karissa, living in the big city, how do you navigate being an editor, a stylist, a designer, a DJ? Like, do you ever feel like, and I think you touched on this in the beginning, like, do you ever feel like you're doing too many things?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Every day. I wasn't expecting that.
Every day, all the time. Like literally, like people asking like, how do you balance? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Like yesterday I had a DJ set and I was editing some girl's beauty story for Teen Vogue in the middle of my DJ set. Like, but luckily it was one of those like corporate mixers. Like it was like a holiday party or something.
Yeah.
But I really only had to press play, wait for that song to end, press play. But I took that as my advantage. Like, I'm about to get this thing edited. So I was just editing in the midst of that. And then sometimes like I'm on a call in an Uber on my way to somewhere. Like it never ends. I don't eat. Like my showers are like 10 minutes. Like it's bad. I don't have a makeup routine. Never will. Like I don't have the time for it at all.
Girl,
like,
you don't need makeup.
Girl, that's what I'm saying. The beauty editor, skincare.
Okay. You know what?
I don't know about the beauty, but I can get
okay. I can do skincare, and one or the other works for me.
Yeah.
You know what? You talked about your love for reading. Right now, I'm reading Gabrielle Union's second book. You Got Anything Stronger? But anyway, she talked about what you talked about is balance, and she said she doesn't believe that balance exists. Like she said there's no such thing as balance. She said you just kind of figure it out. Like you just figure out what works best for you. I mean, I have a friend who uses the word harmonize. Like things work in harmony. There's no such thing as balance. Especially because when you have so many, things happening, so many things going on. But I think now is a time, in our age to live that life, so that we can work hard now, play hard later.
Oh yeah, girl, I wanted Teen Vogue so bad, and it's funny because everybody keeps saying like, why? Like your freelance life was lit. Like you were paying your bills, doing everything you was doing. Like, yeah. But I don't know. I'm a corporate girl at heart. I've never been somebody who wanted to be freelance. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
But I like stability. I'm a Taurus. I need a schedule. I need to know what time it's happening.
Right.
What time I get paid. Like when is my next meeting? Like I don't like the whole like, oh, I just made this much last week and I'm waiting to get another job.
Yeah.
No. So, and then on top of that, I needed a job that was going to pay for my other jobs. Like now I have a source of income that now I can put into best case scenario. Like now all my DJ gigs can pay my rent. And now all the styling gigs on the side, like it's like things, like you said, they're working in harmony. Things are just happening. Yeah. But it definitely like, oh man, it took a lot to get here. I'm happy to be here. But like I said, like living in New York is crazy and stressful. And I feel like Teen Vogue gives me that. Like it was really hard and really hectic and really crazy at first, but now that I always have something to fall back on, I can say no to stuff now.
Yeah.
I was never able to say like, actually, I don't need that 2000.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got it. Like, I just turned down a DJ set because it was 3 hours away and they were paying me like $2,500 for a set. The old me would have been like,
I gotta figure it out.
I need that. That's my rent for next month and the month after. Like, no, I actually don't have to do that anymore. Now I can focus on something else. Like, so it's nice now that I can like turn things down. I have more time. I can manage my time way better. And especially being senior, because now I don't really report to anyone. So it's like I'm on my own time. Everybody's on my time. It works out.
I love that. Oh, senior, I don't have to report to anyone. I'm on my own time. We love that.
Yeah, but honestly, you know what? It's like braggadocious, I guess that might sound. In real life, I was so shocked. Like, it's taking a lot of getting used to because I'm so used to being the assistant or, something freelancer or something like that. So now when I have ideas and I pitch them, everybody's like, Karissa, if you don't stop pitching stuff to us,
you're the senior.
Yeah, they're like, do it. Like, stop bouncing ideas, do it.
The girls are up.
It's taking some getting used to being the boss.
Good for you. Oh, good for you.
Yeah, which is initially why I got fired from Elle, because I was working with people my age, so I wasn't good at being the boss. I was like, because I had to tell them what to do, but they're my friends and we're on the same level. Yeah, I was like a little too lenient there. But like I said, things go wrong to go right, because from that job, I'm the boss. It gets very much boss now. I definitely know how to tell you what needs to be done and what time. And if it's not, then I'm sorry for you. Yeah.
I love that. I love that, baby. Get used to it. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Karissa, what do you want people to know about you? Like, what impact do you want to have?
I want my impact to be honesty. I want to be honest in my role. Like, with everything I do, like, I'll keep it short because I know I can go. But let's say, like, one by one, DJing, I want to be honest in the sense, like, I already do this. I feel like that's why a lot of people really like me as a DJ, because I'm going to play the new stuff. I'll play the old stuff too, whatever. But I'm going to play that one song that nobody has the guts to play. Like, I'm going to play, what's the old song we used to like, I Don't Sell Molly No More. Like, nobody listens to that no more.
Yeah.
Nobody plays that. That's not even like an old classic. That's like something that happened.
Yeah, and it was gone.
We don't talk about McConan anymore. But like, I'm the one that's like, I got the gas. And everybody's like, you didn't even know that you missed that song.
Right.
Nobody's playing it. Yeah. And I'll play like Take You Home by Lil Bow Wow. Like, yeah, like stuff that, like, remember we used to really, like, before it was lame to be lame. I mean, I just don't worry about being cool. I'm not trying to be cool ever.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing that makes me, like, really most honest. Like, when I'm DJing, I'm gonna play a Kid Cudi song. I really don't care if y'all don't like Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Like, I like Kid Cudi, and it's like 3 other people in here that know this song.
Right.
Play it for us. And I'll get back to Lil Wayne in a minute. Like, I'm gonna play Lil Baby in a minute. Like, let me just get this off. So I really like that about DJing, like that little piece of honesty that I like. That, like, yeah, I'm a little nerdy girl that listens to, like, like, in my spare time, and I'll mix it with Lil Baby, and you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna be honest about it. Like, it's DJing is self-expression. I'm not playing it for you. Like, you know? So, like, that with DJing, and then with my brand, like I told you, like, I really want to take the pressure off and just, like, show people that, like, it's really not that deep. Like, if you said that your shirt is pants, it can be. Yeah. Your shirt can be pants. Yeah. Like, it's up to you. Like, whatever. So that's why I made that. And then I also, like, whatever, I'm just gonna show you the hat. I made a hat. And it's funny because I'm so proud of myself, because usually I'm a girl that's like I need a second opinion all the time. So I'm trying to get out of that. And I think that that's why this job happened to me too, because I'm so won't do it unless everybody thinks I should do it. Like, so I literally had this hat. I've been sitting on it. I wasn't gonna post it, wasn't gonna drop it. And then Rihanna, during her pregnancy, I think she wore one of, like, a bedazzle hat just like it. And I was like, oh, now all the brands are about to do it. Are you kidding me? Like, I could have been ahead of the trend. So I gotta trust myself. But yeah, remember, like, the little not China store, Canal Street hats that are like bedazzled. They say like bitch or sexy or I love Jesus with the bedazzled. Very tacky, terrible hat. But I'm into them. And, like, lately I've been wearing them a lot, and I get so many compliments, and I just can't believe y'all won't go to Canal Street and get a $9 hat. Right. Girl, go get one. But they don't have the confidence to do it. And that's what I mean by it's not that deep. Like, if you like it, wear it. Right. So, like, I made one. And it says, I love drama. And I think it's perfect because it's just like, we're just literally creating these dramatic situations in our head when we're getting dressed. Who like it, who will like it. And, like, girl, you might be the only person on the block with a bedazzle hat and inspire somebody to do what they want. Like, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna drop it. It's gonna be really fun. But that's what I mean, again, by honesty, transparency through all of my different mediums. And even at Teen Vogue, like, I want to start conversations that other brands are afraid to have. Like, one of my biggest projects or write-ups that I'm working on at Teen Vogue hasn't dropped yet, so exclusive. Okay. But yeah, I'm about to write about Black luxury and how everybody is throwing around the terminology Black luxury, but it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as Black luxury. There's only luxury. And I feel like Black luxury is trying to simplify it, trying to dumb it down. And, like, basically saying that like a Black designer has an obligation to a lower price point for us. And like, that's just not the truth.
Oh, I see
like,
what you mean.
We want to coexist with the big brands too.
Right.
Like, we don't have to dumb ourselves down and name it Black luxury. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's luxury. Black people are luxury.
Right.
Like, that's the issue. So yeah, that's like something that I feel like all these brands, like, yes, we're being inclusive now. All the magazines are talking about 25 Black owned designers to support, or like, you can support Black designers here. You can, like, nobody's talking about how it's really not a separate sector. Like, let's stop doing that and embrace everyone.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, we just want the same respect. We don't want to be treated special.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's what I'm going to write about, because nobody's saying it, but everybody's thinking it. And I think that's what Teen Vogue is good at doing. Yeah. Teen Vogue, we're going to write what you're thinking.
Okay, we're going to write what you're thinking, or not thinking, but you're going to hear it. You're going to read it. You're going to read it. I love that. Karissa, tell us where we can find you, follow your journey, where we can get some best case scenario hats that's about to drop, all that good stuff.
All right, so you can follow me at A-List Kariss on Instagram. That's ALISTKARISS. And yeah, that was just me speaking it into existence, girl. I decided I was A-List.
Come on, A-List. and it is.
Yeah, it's funny though, because people from my high school now call me A-List. Like, never even met New York me, and just go with it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I never hear Karissa. Everybody calls me A-List. Like, that's
okay. Shout out to A-List.
Yeah. So you can follow me there on Twitter and Instagram. And my website is in my bio that has all my mixes, every published write-up I ever did, everything I ever styled, my first fashion film, everything's there. Any press that I was featured in is there. And my brand is bestcasescenario.nyc. You can go www.bestcasescenario.nyc.
Yeah, as Karissa said, link in bio. Okay.
Yeah, all the links in my bio.
All the links in the bio.
Go to my Instagram and it'll take you everywhere you need to go. So
yeah. This has been so enlightening, even for me. Like, I'm definitely gonna.
I know. I was like, we don't even really talk, so this is good.
Right. And this is so enlightening for me. I think I love that the quote that things have to go wrong. When things go wrong, they go better. Yeah. I love that. That's gonna speak to me over the next couple of weeks. So I love that. Karissa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on Ask Masha podcast and dropping these gems and sharing your story and inspiring me and my listeners. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, and best luck to you.
Thank you.
Blow up, and I'm excited.
Yes, honey, we all trying to blow up. So I'm definitely gonna, continue, watching your journey. It's been so exciting to see you flourish. When I was planning season 2, you were like one of the first people I had to talk to. I had to interview. I was like, oh, I have to talk to Karissa. And then when you were promoted, I was like, oh, this is even better. Like, I think what really inspired me was when you DJ'd at, was it Princeton?
Oh my God, yes, Princeton.
Yeah,
that was the one I was about to say was my favorite one too. Like, Princeton really...
that, and then and I was like showing everybody, I was like, look at Karissa. I was like, oh, I went to school with her, and when you styled that, and when you styled Jada.
Jada Waiter.
Yes, I was like, oh, I gotta talk to Karissa. I have to talk to Karissa because you.
Yeah, Jada Waiter was another, like, you know what? That's the person.
That was your favorite? That was actually your favorite?
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention it because I was like, okay, well, maybe Kiki was a favorite. But
girl, I be losing.
I know. But I was like, oh, I gotta talk to Karissa. Yes.
Yeah, Jada was fun. Jada was open. I really like that about her. I didn't expect it because, like, the Atlanta fashion scene. I'm from Atlanta. So the Atlanta fashion scene, I already knew, like, if it get a little too crazy, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Put her in feathers and chains and blue, and she didn't care. She was down.
Yes.
Yeah, Jada has a fashion sense.
Okay, well, thank you so much again, Karissa. We're getting ready to end this episode. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. I hope you were inspired and caught some of the gems that Karissa was dropping. And be sure to follow her, keep up with her journey, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, babes.